Officials in Boston are trying to mobilize their own weapon to stop gun violence in Boston, and that weapon is, they hope, women. Our Allison King has more on what city officials are calling Operation Lipstick. Allison.
Well, Latoya, a group of women, Boston activists, are basically saying we're not going to just sit on the sidelines anymore when it comes to protecting our neighborhoods and keeping guns off the street. They call themselves Operation Lipstick, and if you ever take Boston public transit, you'll see their new ad soon.
It is okay to say no when the man who claims he loves you asks you to carry, to hide, or to buy a gun. We are not going to do it.
The groups that gathered at Boston's Ruggles Tea Station included Mayor Marty Walsh and Police Commissioner Paul Evans, but it was the women who ran the event. They call their coalition Lipstick, ladies involved in putting a stop to inner city killings, and many of them have personally lived the violence.
I too am a survivor, a victim of homicide. My 13-year-old son, Stephen Odom, was murdered October 4th, 2007.
Lipstick is shining a light on the consequences women face by providing guns to people who can't get them legally. It's called a straw buy, where in this case a woman buys a gun, not for her own use, but for a man in her life, a son, a boyfriend, a husband, who then goes on to commit a crime with it. It's the #1 way in which guns are trafficked into urban neighborhoods. Just last week, police arrested a 28-year-old man and an 18-year-old woman during a Boston drug investigation. The woman was carrying a large amount of crack cocaine and a loaded semi-automatic handgun. The man had $1,900 cash.
That's right. He took all the money and she took all the risk. Based on his record and the officer's observations, we have little doubt that the gun was his and the criminal enterprise was his. But she's looking at prison time for possession of a high-capacity firearm.
So Lipstick has teamed up with Boston's mass transit system to launch a public service ad campaign, His Crime, Your Time.
These women are not waiting for an act of Congress to save their community. They're taking responsibility for their actions now.
Now, Boston's MBTA is paying for 600 of those ads to be posted within the transit system. And while police don't have hard numbers on how many women have purchased guns for men, Commissioner Evans called the trend alarming. And Latoya and Mike, I've been covering a lot of these stories lately. Ed Markey filing gun legislation on the federal level. There's the gun buyback program that Marty Walsh is working on now. I think they're hoping that all these efforts together are going to make some difference in the direction that they're trying to go with this drug legislation.
Well, hopefully so, especially as the summer months are coming upon us quickly. And it was great to see that coalition of women behind the mayor. Those women are very strong, know firsthand about dealing with gun violence. All right, Allison King, thanks so much.